Which page?
You can check. I have shown you the page already.
Oh, I see. Number 8.
Right. Now, for this one, it is talking about there are several types of data. Okay, and there you there are basically two types of data. Okay, one is called discrete data, and then the other one is called continuous data. And now I'm going to show you some examples so that you can understand what's the difference between these two. Okay, right. Now, for the first one, discrete data. Okay, as you can see here, are data, okay, which can only take up specific value, and they are usually obtained from direct counting, okay, and therefore in this case, for example, if we are talking about the number of family members, okay, and then you can usually get you can just only have integral values, okay, it means they are only integers, these values, 1 or 2 or 3, okay, very precise, very exact, okay, then there is no between, okay, we don't have something in between 1.5 families members, something like that, okay, and therefore these are called discrete data, okay, or for example, when we count number of rooms in the building. Therefore, usually at this moment, okay, I think most of the case when you have discrete data, okay, when you need to count something, okay, then you will have discrete data, okay. And then the other one is called continuous data. Let me see. Is this, how about your screen? Is this moving? Not yet. It's not moving, the screen. I have changed the page, but it's not. I share it again. Okay. And then the other one is called continuous data. Now, this is see whether you can understand this part. Okay, take up any value. Take up any value within a certain range. Okay, for example, okay, measurement. Now, in this case, you may think that, okay, if I have, for example, 15.7, and then you may think that the next one will be 15.8. Okay, it seems that it, it is discrete, okay, just like the last one. But the case that if I have a very accurate measurement tools, then in this case, I may have something like that, 15.74, and then 15.777. Okay, and then if I can measure, okay, even more accurate, then I may have 15.743, 15.742, something like that. Okay, therefore it means I can find any value actually. Okay, for the case is that I cannot say I cannot have this one or this one. It's just the tools that's for the measurement is not accurate enough. But basically or theoretically, we can have any value. Okay, in this case, the height of the plant. Okay, we can have 15.7 cm, 15.82 cm, or 15.823 cm, etc. Okay, but usually we don't have so many decimal places. Okay, this is it's just the case that our measurement tools, for example, if we just use a ruler, okay, the ruler just is not accurate enough. We cannot read from the ruler for for such accurate values. Okay, but if I have something very uh, high technology, maybe I can measure the length, the height of this plant at up to 4 or 5 decimal places. Therefore, in general, it means that the height of this one can be any values, can be any reasonable values. Okay, reasonable. Do you know the meaning for this one? Okay, reasonable values. Okay, it means you don't expect the height of a plant would be a negative value. Okay, that is not reasonable. Okay, but if it is reasonable, then it can be any values. Then it is continuous. Okay, it is continuous data. These kinds of data that you can get, okay, are in this type continuous. Or another example will be your weight. Okay, of course, the weight of a student, okay, can take up any value, any reasonable value, okay, within a certain range. Okay, therefore, for example, usually for students, maybe uh, right, for example, one may be around 50 kilogram to 70 kilogram. This is called a range. This is called a range. Okay, certain range. Can you see this word? Certain range. Okay, and then this is called a range from 55 to 70. Then it means uh, a student can weight 55 kilogram or 55.5 kilogram. Okay, 55 kilogram or maybe 56.1 kilogram. Okay, can take up any values. Okay, 70 or 69 kilograms, something like that. Okay, can take up any value within this range. Okay, then in this case, this kind of data, okay, are called continuous data. Okay, now for these two, for number 1 and 2, they are referring some data which is called, can you see this word, numerical values. Okay, it means these data are expressed in terms of a number. Okay, then they have numerical values. Of course, there is another kind of data which is not expressed in terms of numerical value. Okay, for example, the gender, okay, whether you are a boy or a girl. Okay, our religions, whether you are Catholic or you believe in Buddhism, or very common. Okay, if you want to collect some data about the favorite fruits of your classmate, okay, then you may get answer like that. Apple, mango, orange, something like that. Okay, then This kind of data is another type, okay, because they are not numbers, okay. For the 1 and 2 here, discrete data and continuous data here, okay, listed in your book, they are referring to numbers, okay, if the data collected are having numerical values. But there can be another type of data that we can collect, but they cannot be expressed in terms of a number. Then they are called nominal data. Can you see this word here? Nominal data. Okay, usually they are just kind of names. Okay, now right now then in this case in your curriculum, okay, basically first of all you need to identify these two. It means, okay, I will give you some data and then you need to know whether it is discrete or whether it is continuous. Right. Now, I think you can, in your book, try to do this one. Use a straight line to pair up the following data with their classification. Now, first of all, you have to look at each one and then identify what data you will collect in that case. This should be page 9, right? Okay. You have done it already, right? Very quickly. Now for this one, the number 1, daily passenger counts. Daily passenger count. It means we count the number of passengers every day, okay, daily. Okay, this is the data you will collect, okay. And then for number 2, finishing time of the participants in the swimming competition. This is the data, the time. For example, in the competition, okay, it may be in seconds. In seconds. I will explain nominal data later. Okay, after finishing this exercise. Okay, and then calories. Okay, it means when you eat, okay, how many calories you have intaken. Okay, okay, and then for this one, daily visits count. For websites, it means for every day, how many visitors to that website. Okay, therefore you identify these 4. Okay, whether they are discrete data or continuous data. Right. Anyone want to try? And then the others can look at what your classmate has done and then see whether you agree with it. Let me see. Daily passenger counts. Okay, this one we do it by counting, right? Therefore, in this case, it should be discrete, right? And the other one, okay, and the other one, finishing time. Now, finishing time can be any time, okay, can be any time, okay, within a certain range, okay. Therefore, yeah, this is continuous data. And then calories. Calories can be also, okay, continuous, okay, because some food may contain certain calories. okay, it's a kind of measurement, okay, and therefore it is continuous. It is continuous. And daily visit control, okay, daily visit, daily visit count, okay, is discrete data. Okay, the others to refer to this one, okay, I think your classmate have done this correctly. Right. Okay, let me clear up this one. Right. Now, someone asked about nominal data again. Okay. Now, for this one, when you think about, you should know the meaning. Questionnaire, right? Okay. And then questionnaire. Okay. Sometimes you may ask, what is your gender? Okay. Then your answer usually something like that, right? And therefore maybe you answer, okay, you are a boy, then you answer M, male. Okay, male is not a number, but it is a kind of data. Data means kind of informations you collect. Okay, and sometimes you may your favorite sport, then you may answer football, basketball, something like that. Okay, say if you answer, say football, then this is also a kind of data. Data is the word data is not just referring to number. Okay, number is just only a kind of data. Data means when you need to study something, then you may need to get some information, right? And the information you have got, okay, for the study or for this statistical survey, then the information is actually called data. Okay, for example, do you like this restaurant? Then you may answer, I don't like it. I like it. I like it very much. Okay, this one, okay, it is also a kind of nominal data. Okay, it is not a number. It is not a number. Of course, sometimes people will make it like a number. Okay, but if if your answer looks in this way, okay, then they are not. We cannot say that whether they are continuous or discrete. But definitely the information you got is a kind of data. Okay, but this kind of data has no numerical values. Okay, it means we cannot use a number. Say, for example, we cannot use a number to represent that you are a boy. Okay, I mean, we don't have a universal number. Okay, do you know what I mean? We of course, when you set the questionnaire, you can ask people to answer. Okay, if you are male, you input 1. If you are a girl, you input 0. But basically, when someone asks you, what is your gender? You will answer whether you are a male or female. Okay, then in this case, male and female, okay, they don't have any numerical values. numerical value means you can say that whether it is 4 or 5 or 6.7, 10.1, -2, these are numerical values. Okay, then in this case, football is not a number, has no numerical values. Okay, apple, okay, has no numerical values, but it is a kind of data. Okay, because sometimes you may need to collect information like that. Okay, instead of just taking numbers. Okay, therefore, we have another type of data which is called nominal data. Okay, nominal data. This one. Okay, any more questions concerning about types of data? If you have questions, you can okay, anyone? Right. Now then for this one, exercise 12A, okay, I think you can just do it by yourself. Oh, it stopped moving again. I mean the book. Oh, very, very slow. It seems very slow. Let me see. Okay. Right. Now for exercise 12A, okay, I think you can just do it by yourself and then check the answer. Because not that's not involve any calculation. Okay, but if after you have checked the answer, if you find anything that you are not clear, then you can ask me. For example, okay, you need to suggest a suitable way to collect data for each of the following. For example, if you want to know something about the number of vehicles passing through some traffic accident black spots in Hong Kong at a particular time. For example, if you want to say in Aberdeen Main Road, do you know where is this? And then the busy time may be 2 p.m. to or from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, and then you want to know on that road, okay, how many number of vehicles? Do you know the meaning of vehicles? It includes like cars, minibus, bus, like that. Okay, something like that. Yeah. And therefore, if you want to know the number of vehicles passing Aberdeen Main Road, okay, from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., okay, how can you collect the data? Okay, then you suggest a way, okay, and then you can just refer to what we had yesterday. There are several ways to collect data. So for example, we can have questionnaire, we can have interview, we can have observation, we can have experiment, and also the last one from the previous uh, uh, report, something like that. Okay, basically there are 5. Okay, previous information. Therefore, it means you can just choose from the 5 method that we discussed yesterday and then see which one is more suitable for this case. Okay, and then similar for the other from part B to part F. And then for question 2, I think I really suggest you to do question 2 because many students have at the beginning may have difficulty in identifying whether the data is discrete or continuous. Therefore, you better try question 2 and then check your answer. Okay, check your understanding. Okay, check your understanding. Okay. Okay, right. But for and then for number 2, okay, now for number 1, sometimes for some cases, okay, there may be more than one method suggested. But for number 2, okay, the data should be either discrete or continuous. Either one, okay. You cannot have data which belongs to both groups, okay, either discrete data or continuous data, okay. And then I will suggest you to do this one and then check the answer by yourself. And then for the other exercise, more or less the same type. It's just ask you to identify, okay, or to suggest a suitable way to collect data, and then ask you whether the data collected is discrete or continuous. Okay. For the remainings, they are all for you to check your understanding on these two topics. Okay, whether you know how to find a suitable way to collect data, and then what type of data you have collected. Okay, right. Then I think this one, we start this one, and then you may have some calculations to do. Okay, now this one is the kinds of data, okay, collected. Okay, the data listed below. Yeah, the data listed below shows the numbers of books that a class of 40 students read in a month. Therefore, in this case, imagine, okay, if you have asked 40 students, and then someone answers you, okay, he or she reads one book, and then the other one reads one book, and then you just write down the answers like that, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, something like that. Okay, now then in this case, of course, by impression, okay, if you just look at this one, you may see there are quite a lot of number of 1, okay, but more precisely, okay, how many students, okay, read uh, one book in a month? How many of them just read and they how many of them read two books, okay, something like that. Okay, we want to have the information in an organized manner. Then and then for the data that you have just got, we call it raw data. Can you see this word here? Raw data. Raw data. It is not identified. It is not organized. Okay, the data are not organized. Then they are called raw data. But just now I saw someone put some tick on it. But if you have quite a lot of different kinds of data, if you just read through the lines one by one like that, if you have 100 lines to read, then you may miss something. You may miss something. You may miss the data when you do the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay. Sometimes you make a mistake when you do the counting. Therefore, instead of counting like that, this is the case when we have just an example 40. Sometimes we may have 400 data. Then if you do the counting, then it will be very difficult. Therefore, we do something like this one. A little bit slow. Have to wait. Going to the next page, please. But the screen hasn't changed. Go to the next page, which is page 12. Look at page 12. Yes. Oh. If I move the screen very, very, very slow. How about my talking? How about my talking? Is this okay? Maybe I try to stop and share again. It's a bit slow. Oh, voice is okay. Oh, it's just the screen is not okay. Then maybe I do it this way. Hey. Okay. Wait for me. I think I do it in another way. But then in this case, you cannot write anything, I think. Now, this one is called Tolly. Can you see the word? Hey. But then in this case, I cannot find my pen. Oh. I share the screen, and then in this case, hey, I forgot to take the attendance. Now, this one is called a toddy. Okay, maybe I think I should do something like that. I took the, hey, and then if I share the photos like that, right? Okay, finally done. Tolly. Okay, can you see this one? Now, then in this case, it means when you do the counting, okay, instead of tick tick tick, like that, I'm switching the screen. Okay, then for example, I would draw a table like that. Okay, and then if I read through the data, okay, someone don't read notebooks, and then 1, 2, 3, right? And then I will do the tally. What? No. Could I erase your drawing? Who is that? Could you please Could you please clear your drawing? Right. Then in this case, you look at the first one. Do you know what I'm going to do? Then in this case, you can make sure that you would not miss any data. What? I did not see what you have written. Okay, like that. And then 2 here. 1, 2, 1 again. But because this one is just an example, sometimes when we really do a statistical survey, we may collect more than 40 data. That's why if you just do it by direct counting, sometimes you may miss a few data. Okay, that's why this one you can ensure that if you look at that, okay, all the data have been erased or have been crossed out, then you can sure that you have counted everything. And then in this case, you look at this one means 5, right? Because each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some people may do it by using the Chinese data, the Chinese character 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but this one I think it is easier to count because if you look at something like that, you need to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, you need to count. But this one is easier. Okay, you can quickly look at it how many strokes are here. Okay, therefore in this case, yes, this is 18, right? And then the other one 13, right? And then the last one 4. And then try to add them together, see whether we get the correct answer. Okay, 5, 18, 13, and 4. Okay, when we add them together, how many? Is this correct? It means this is kind of method that you can double check whether you have done anything correct. Okay, here, okay, because this is total should be 40. Then you add these numbers together to check whether you get 40. Okay, if not, then there must be something wrong. Then in that case, then you may have to redo everything. Okay, but if you add all these together and then you find that it is 40, the total is 40, then basically you should have done something correct. Okay, then this is called tally, and then this is a method to organize the data. Okay, right. It means we organize the data in a table form like that. Okay, then of course, can you see that just now I just do it. I just want to show you how to use the tally quickly. That's why I did not write the title properly. Then you can see that you need to tell what do these numbers represent. Okay, they represent the number of books. Then you need to write clearly. Okay, it means 0 means no books. Okay, and then 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, something like that. And then we have the tally here. Okay, and then after you have done the tally, then you write down the number represented by the tally. Okay, and therefore in this case, actually the most important, okay, after we have organized the data nicely, then we can make use of these 2 pieces of information to do further analysis. Okay, then in this case, now this one here, okay, it represents for these the data. Okay, and then it means this one means this data 0, okay, has appeared 5 times. Okay, 0 has, maybe we use this word, I think you should know this word, appear 5 times. Okay, it means I have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. Okay, now then in this case, in general, this is called frequency. Here, you can see the word here. The type, the data, okay, data is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then it means from the data we can find 0 5 times. If you look at the previous page again, and then here means this data, okay, this data has appeared 18 times. It means if you count the number of 1, okay, you have collected, there should be 18 of them. Okay, 18 of them. Okay, then this is called frequency. Adrian, close your video, right? And then, or in other words, we can, in this case, for this context, you may think that there are 18 students, okay, have told you that they read 1 book, okay, every month. Okay, right? And then this column, they are called frequency. Okay, it means we are counting for each data how many times these data have appeared. Okay, then this is called frequency. This one is called frequency. In general, it's called frequency. But in this case, the frequency means the number of students that you have asked. Okay, and then this table is called frequency distribution table. Frequency distribution table. Okay, right. Any problem at this moment? Who is that? Okay. Any problem at this moment? Okay, very good. Let me see. Okay, right. Now for this one, and then you can look at instance rule number 1. Okay, listed below are the ages of group of 30 students. Now then, if you have a quick look, okay, the ages that you have recorded will be 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, therefore you need to construct a frequency distribution table. Okay, it means you just follow the previous example. And then in this case, the first column is ages of students. Okay, and then we have 11, 12, 13, and 14. Oh, and then we do the tally. Okay, therefore you do it. Okay, you continue. What's that? Okay. Okay, I think the others you should do it in your own book. You do it in your own book. Okay, or you write the table, okay, in your classroom book. Okay, right. Okay, in this way, then this should be 3, right? And then 16. And then is this 8 and 4? Huh? It seems not quite. This one should be 3. Ah, oh my god. Okay. I, 1, 2. Okay, 3. Okay, then you double check. Try to add all these together. See whether you can get 30. Okay, get 30. Now then, in this case, this is part A. And then for part B, how many students in the group are less than 13 years old? Less than. Therefore, you can look very clearly that these two groups, okay, they are less than 13 years old, right? Then you can just quickly write down 16 plus 3, which is 19. Then you can answer part B in this way. Okay, right. Yes, 19. Yes, very good. Okay, right. Now, then we can continue on Monday. And then you can check Google Classroom later, see whether I will put some classwork for you. Okay, I think you just need to know the name for this one, frequency distribution table. Okay, you must remember, okay, this one refer to the one that we have just done. Okay, because usually, okay, student may ask, okay, what's that? Okay, when they have the examination, when they are asked to draw a frequency distribution table, later they may ask, what's that? Oh, that table. You should remember the name, okay, of that table, because no one will tell you or explain the exam paper to you, okay, when you are having the examination. Okay, right. And we will continue